Hi guys, so today I'm going to work on my spring area. It is totally overgrown. It's really pretty. I love the purple flowers. I love the canna lilies. They're wonderful. But this area is just super overgrown. I've already actually started a little bit by cutting out some of these sugarcane. But I think what I'm going to do is cut them back severely. I'm just going to keep enough sugarcane to provide privacy, because eventually the sugarcane will be gone from this area once the palms grow up, but I don't want the sugarcanes to block my palms. All of this sugarcane that I'm going to pull out, I'll harvest the actual sugarcane, and then I will put the rest of the sugarcane parts that you can't eat, I will put them in my compost heap. So you can see that it's nice and private, which I need for my pool for sure. Look at this beautiful basil. But I need to be able to walk through here. Here's my spring. And you can see that there's water all through here. It's not but 6 inches below the ground level, and that's toward the lake. So today's goal, clean up this mess, get it to where I can walk back through here and cut back all the sugar cane that is not necessary. Now the palms, I want them to grow nice and thick. The sugar cane was important because it was super fast growing and it allowed me to have privacy close to instantly. But now it's time for me to get rid of that because I want it to be available for use. Now this is a passion fruit vine, but unfortunately it's taking over one of my trees that's very pretty and I don't want it to kill it. And these palms are growing nice and thick because they are right next to the spring, but I need to cut these back. Pardon me. I need to cut these back because look at what they're taking over. This is my little area that I love to keep pretty because it's my fig area. Oh, here comes some mamas. Hi, Mama. I'm going to be working in the yard, so I know you're going to be right under my feet. Well, this was a huge mess before. In order to give a little bit more space, I just did some chop and drop right there, cut back some branches, and maybe this little fig tree will be a happier fig. Gosh, these are just taking forever to get ready with it being colder. So that looks a lot better. This is the stream. The spring is right on the other side of that. So there's the pond. I call it the pond. I don't know if you can see the water. Let me tell you, putting my feet in this water does not make me happy. Because when it was super dark, because the plants were just growing over all that sugar cane, ooh, it was a little bit scary. All I could imagine was there's going to be a water moccasin in that. So maybe I lucked out. Anyway, the water is definitely full, even though it hasn't rained here for weeks. Well, it's been probably a week. These plants are going to be so much happier. They were really struggling. They weren't getting any sun. This is a topiary normally, so it's time for me to cut it back into a little ball. I like to do that as vegetative time. And this poor little tree is dead. No, there's a little bit of life left at the bottom. It's an orange tree. It dropped all its oranges. Poor thing. Oh no, there's some green up here. I don't know what to do with this. And look at how much the sand. I have to bring in more mulch. This area needs much more mulch. I didn't mulch it enough. So I stopped right about here. You can see there's the water. And then I just need to weed all along here, even down that little bit of a mess down there. The chickens love this area, so I really want to keep it available for them. And here's one now. Hello, Mama. I know, thank you so much for your help. So let me show you the huge compost heap. And I'm going to give a shout out to David and Patty. They're the people that do my yard. I call them, and they do some hourly work too. So anytime I have to have them, I usually do the weeding and they do the hauling when we weed together. So here is a pile, and I'm just going to leave it there. And I'll plant something in it in no time. Oh, Mama, no mamas. Fussy girls. Thank you for calling to me. She's got her babies back here with the bananas. It's a favorite place. Hello. Hi, guys. Are you grocery shopping back here? Oh, you scared me. I didn't know where you were, Mama. We love it back here because it's really safe. You know, if she keeps them under an area like this, they really have a lot less risk of getting eaten by a hawk. Let me dig for you some. What you gonna find? Oh, little baby, it's okay. What did you find? What did you hear? There's a chicken, I see. There's another chicken. She's fine. So these are the roots of the bananas. I'll just cover those right back up. This is a pretty rich area. I'm sorry, baby. Baby little pie. Oh, I hope none of these are boys. Mamas. She is working hard, getting stuff done. Hello, pretty girl. You digging around for some bugs? Oh, I love that these little babies totally know. They're little industrious things. Oh, God. Oh, Mama. You're a good little Mama. So this to me is perfect. A hawk might get up in that tree that's right here, but there's a 5-foot fence and she can scatter these chickens pretty quickly. And it's not going to be able to easily fly from that angle around the fence. So having them here, I'm perfectly happy with this. Anyway, back to this. So this area, this is a nice big compost heap. This will actually break down relatively quickly because, I mean, these are just little pieces of paper, basically. They're thin, paper thin. And once they get some stuff mixed in with them that will keep them wet, they'll break down really quickly. That pile right there that I planted my sweet potato in, that was about this height not too long ago. So what I'll do is I'll actually cover this with mulch, and then once it's covered with mulch, it will start to really break down fast because it'll keep it from drying out. Anyway, this is a happy little tree. You know, we've been having a lot of greening issues, so it didn't really bloom. Well, I'm wrong. I've got some blooms. You can see that. It didn't have anything crazy compared to the sister, which is right there. And that's probably why this tree is leafed out so thoroughly, and this one just has a lot of fruit, but it's looking a little scraggly. So I need to actually tomorrow I'm doing a teach-in for my sister. They have the Great American Teach-In tomorrow. She always has me, I used to audit financial institutions for a living, so she's a math teacher. She Always has me do a lot of math. But look at this. This one's got some nice fruit on it. This is about as good as it gets for a citrus tree in Florida. But I need to cut all of these back. I like to cut the front row back first, wait a little bit of time, and then cut the back row back so I still have privacy. I don't really want my chickens to even see the neighbor's yard, because I don't want them thinking, oh, the grass is greener. Let's go over there. Okay. So that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for coming on the journey, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi guys, so it's now the next day, and I am ready to start on this area because I really need to get this done. It's just, way long since time to get done. Now, it kind of creeps me out to go into areas like this because I'm just positive this is like perfect snake habitat. And I get it, snakes need to live too. So instead, ooh, and I have some lemons I have to pick up. I really wish the lemons I would rather leave them on the trees until it freezes. But once they hit the ground, obviously I'm gonna bring them in. So I have my trusty Sawzall, and I am gonna Sawzall all of these on this side. Obviously not this, but any of the canna lilies, they're perfectly fine to Sawzall. I'm also gonna cut down this dead orange tree. You know, I tried to save it when I bought the house. It was completely covered. You could not even tell that it was a tree. It was like a little mound of moss. And I trimmed it back and I tried to save it, but it just didn't work out. And same with the other one back there. It's really almost too dead. So time to go ahead and get all of this Sawzall back, and then I can clean out the creek. And at the same time, I can let the stuff, it'll grow back. My gosh, it'll grow back so fast. It'll probably take a month and they'll be 2 or 3 feet tall because they have such a rich source of nutrients. And then the chickens will get back in there. The chickens haven't really been going in this area too much because it's been too overgrown. They really like to oh, look at this. Here's a chicken in the water. She's drinking water. Sometimes they'll grocery shop for little bugs. Hello, Mama. I love seeing them going after tadpoles. Want me to try to find you some? I taught them how to do this. Hang on, let me look. And they loved it. I know, I don't know if I can see tadpoles in here. It's got so much mulch in it from... I don't see any, Mama. I have to clean this out for you, and then you'll be able to see them better. I'm sorry. I cannot see the tadpoles right now. Oh, I do see some, actually. Gonna get your tadpoles? It used to be that when I didn't have the mulch in here, I could literally see the tadpoles just swimming around. She's looking for them, though. She remembers this was a good grocery shopping spot. So, yet another reason to get this area cleaned up. They just love it. It's just one more place to shop. And you can really see that the water actually does just continuously flow downhill. You can see it flowing downhill right there and right there. And this whole area, it keeps it from being completely soaked. These sugarcane do not get watered at all. I never water anything on this side of my yard, and everything's growing like a weed. Now, I don't think if I didn't divert some of this water all the way down to the bananas, I really don't think that these plants would be doing as well, because they don't want to be completely soaked. They just want to have a nice amount of water. And so that's why I'm going to be keeping this the way it is and just cleaning it up today. So I'll check back in with a video every now and then, and you can see how pretty the flowers will look, because I'll be cutting back the flowers first. Thanks, guys. All right, so right now I'm working on this topiary, and I'll just show you how I do it. It was just completely let go. So I don't know how easy this is going to show up. But what I do is I like to make little round balls. So this is basically one little round ball. You can do topiaries any way you want. You could have done a spiral on this, but I've kind of been doing the same thing on this plant ever since I got it. I basically, that's a ball right there. There's another one right here. And I just really cut to where they're separate. I know, Mama. And in about a week, this will really be filled in. Not to where it'll still have a beautiful shape, but it will be filled in nicely. So here's a round ball. There's another round ball in the back. And then this top part is just gonna be one big round ball. So I am going with the bottom. The bottom's gonna be a little tighter in. And then I will let it fatten out a little bit, and then on top, it'll just be rounded. You can kind of see the shape starting to take place. And then over on this one, I usually just make one big round. I've only ever done this one as one big round circle ball. So that's what I'll be doing on this one. And I'm afraid this little orange tree, I mean, look at the size of that stump. And it is just not happy. It's got greening probably, and it's pretty old. I'm really gonna take that out. I hate to do that to an orange tree, but I don't see how I could save that. So I'm gonna get right back on this one, and then I'll show you an update. So here's the topiary now. And it's basically 3 little balls at the bottom and 1 round little top. And I like the way that looks. And I do chop and drop. The other thing I'll do is if I pull off a large piece, if I'm just gonna leave it right on the ground, I might just chop that up further. So as not to have a bunch of stuff that's gonna take forever to break down. And I'll just spread it all around underneath the tree. And that's how I mulch that tree. And look at these. These are all able to be pulled down and planted. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm gonna work on this one now. Now I always like to start at the bottom, and I'll just, because if you're gonna make a round shape, you take the bottom in like maybe, half of what is sticking out, the rest of it sticking out, and that allows you to make a circle. So if you look at the shape of this right now, this was a topiary. It's basically got a long, you can see the trunk underneath, and then it's now so grown out. It's like a little miniature tree, and I'm just going to take it back to its original shape, which was just basically a stick with a ball on top. So to do that, I'm going to start by cutting out the whole bottom, but I'm going to cut it back only about halfway, and that will allow it to look like a rounded shape, and I'll do that now. Okay, so I actually bent down and I trimmed up any branches that were kind of long, and you can see that this is pretty far out, whereas down here it's pretty close in, and that's how you start. At least that's how I start. Same thing here. Now I cleaned up that side already, but you have to still go underneath because I'm letting this thing grow. And I don't want to have like an oval. I want to have it round. So I am pulling these out. I see the puppy has gotten out. Shadow has a bad habit of standing right under me at all times because his name was Shadow from birth, and he is a shadow. He likes to be right underneath me, and I'm talking at all times. Gotta love my baby boy. But sometimes I admit I do leave him in the house with his daddy so I can have a break. So see how long these branches are? Now I have to cut these back because they're the bottom, I'm cutting them all the way back halfway. And this is just around the bottom. So the bottom has been now cut back halfway. And this looks like it needs to come off. Okay, now I'm gonna start shaping the sides. I let them come out like another quarter because, and it looks like it's about to rain here. So you can see the shape is starting to take place. But now I am going to take them back. I want them to kind of come out further. You know I need to buy a selfie stick. I have never been one for taking selfies. I don't even know if I've ever taken a selfie. So I know I need to do that, and I need to buy a something to hold this camera with. I tried to use one of those body camera parts, but I found that I was not getting, whatever I was aiming for was not in the picture. I didn't know how to do it. So, and then what I also do is anytime you see one of these pointy branches right here, just take that back a little further so it's not in your view. But it's okay for that to be there. In fact, I may take this whole thing up a little higher. And it actually just started raining, so I'm gonna bring the puppy in. Shadow, come on in, baby. Come on, Pepper. And we will come back after the rain stops. So, hello again. Today is the next day because it started raining. So I have finished this one, this little topiary. I think it's really pretty. And I finished this one also. A little manicured puffball. I'm going to come around from the other side since the sun is right in my face. So it looks like a little puffball now. I like it. I just dropped the trimmings right on the ground. Like many of you, I do not have the same aesthetic in my backyard as my front yard. So my front yard, my neighbors see it. I really want it to be manicured and pretty. Whereas my backyard, it's more about the food. So what I did was I trimmed back all of this. I trimmed back these, and they're trimmed to the ground just about. And I can actually trim them completely to the ground, and I probably will. And I practiced trap and drop on this also. So as you can see, I just placed in my path all the trimmings, and there's nothing woody here, so within a month this will be gone. You won't see this. You'll just see really nothing. It'll be completely gone. My chickens will get in here, they will scratch it up, they'll have a nice time digging around in it. This is what is left. Now down here I can see my neighbor's house, and that doesn't bother me really. As long as he can't see in my pool area, I'm happy. So this tree is going to be so much happier. The poor little thing has really been just completely surrounded, really too much. So I chopped all of this back, and now this is what I call the rough cut. Think of a company that does drywall. They roughen, and it's a big mess, and then they sand it, and then the next time they smooth it out a little more, and it looks prettier and prettier. Well, that's pretty much what I do. I like to do my rough cut, and I do my chop and drop. Then all the other stuff that I cut, I'm gonna cut this practically to the ground, and once I do that, it will leave a lot of nutrients here. I promise you, in a month, this will be 2 or 3 feet tall, and beautiful. I mean, stunning. So I've learned with cannas, they grow like weeds if you have unlimited water. And I do, since it's a spring. Now you can see right here, let me just show you what the ground looks like. I mean, this is always soaked, really always soaked. Now what I was pleased about is I have a bunch of plants mixed in here, and they're really pretty gingers. These are beautiful. And I also love these bird of paradise. So pretty. And then I've got this beautiful purple plant, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it needs to live and be happy also. So I'm gonna chop a little path so my chickens can get under there. I think they would love digging around in there, but at the same time, I'm gonna leave a lot of this so that it's just pretty. The chickens will get in here. This will be a favorite tonight, guaranteed. This area right here, I have got to get in here with a weed eater, because it's this yellow, it's a yellow plant that grows. It's got flowers. I don't remember the name of it, but it can take over. So, and I don't want it to take over. I want my chickens to be able to get in this area. I mean, I certainly climbed in here. There's a lot of, now that the flowers, now that the tall plants are gone, it will probably leave a lot of space. So I've got some plants like this, the Ponytail Palm. I want that to survive. I've got a rubber plant over there. I want that to survive. I've got several of them. It was getting no light. Well, luckily on that, where it's at, it's up against a fence. So it was getting plenty of sun, because the sun is on that side of my yard. That's my south side of my yard. I love that plant. It's just super pretty. So I want to keep this in a little native clump. Frankly, it's a safety factor also. Here's a Mexican Petunia. It's a safety factor because my hens, I just really like them to have a place to run over to if a hawk comes, and they're constantly looking for them. So at least I could see that on the other side of my tree right here, which is a lemon, there were some lemons. So I'm happy about that. That, frankly, that's not even a lemon. I just realized this is my Persian lime. So I'm happy that thing survived being crushed in there that whole time. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. The next time, I've got about 2,500 onions to put in. But it's going to take me quite a while. So I've got to really start digging around in these beds to make space for all of them. I know which ones I'm going to put them in. Really, a lot will go in here, and then some on the other side. I'm not going to have them all in beds. I'm actually going to plant them all over my yard. My chickens don't eat onions, so that helps. I just have to place it in a location that they won't dig, because they're voracious little diggers, and they'll just dig those up. They've done that to me 100 times. This year I'm gonna get smart, and I'm gonna put them in a safe space that the chickens can't reach. And these Myers lemons are pretty much done. I'm gonna take these in. I'll probably take them in today. And this tree is struggling. All the trees in Florida, they're just having a hard time because of the greening. But I like the way that looks down there. I think that looks pretty. All that matters, you know, when people look at this, they might be, oh my God, that's such a mess. But you know what? It's all about feeding your soil. This will break down, feed mycelium, that will feed my onions. And I love to eat onions. This will break down, feed the rest of these plants. The mycelium can run kilometers, just miles. And that's part of a mushroom. That's the underground body of the mushroom. And it takes nutrients from here and it brings them to there. Wherever the mycelium is that needs a little extra nutrients, it actually brings it to them. So it's kind of important that you feed your soil. And in my backyard, I'm perfectly happy doing it this way, where it is, it's a nice way to do it. So, but I'm still pleased with the way this spring looks. And I know my chickens are going to absolutely love this area again. Thanks, guys. I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll show you the rest of this on a different video, because it's going to take me days to plant those onions. All right, take care. Bye.